would say one of the failure as a leader is also, the failure is connected to my shadow side that's connected to my giftings too. So one of my strengths and gifting is connecting and networking. I love being the bridge of connecting people and networking people for wider collaboration, the wider kingdom work. But the shadow side of it is sometimes I connect people too quickly out of just being excited for them to connect and forget to actually meet the two parties, for example, before I connect them, to provide context and have a conversation to see if the connection would be beneficial, if the connection is helpful for them. So for example, one of the incidents that happened was what I thought the connection would be good, this nonprofit leader who's seeking for board members and was trying to connect her to a potential board member, but I didn't have the conversation. I just said, it'll be good for you guys to connect. But what I didn't realize is the nature of that nonprofit could have been very triggering for the other individual. And the individual wished that I would have had that conversation in advance with her before the actual connection, because then the individual now felt obligated to connect. So part of that, from that, what I learned is always providing the context, the background before connecting people too quickly, because that can go sour really quick.
There's so many. I think the leaders, I think every leader should be asked this question just to be honest with themselves. So I had this idea when I was in college ministry, campus ministry in downtown Austin, Texas, at the University of Texas. And I had heard about this thing called emergent worship. And at the time, an emergent worship for old guys like me was like a super hip, cool thing back in 2011, 2010. And I heard about it and said, we're gonna do it. And it's super artsy. It's almost like a deconstructed worship service meets like an art gallery fair. And so we had images, like movie images of random, just like stock photos of deep, dark things, basically. But we had the cross, we had like sacramental stuff up there. We had the cross and the altar. It was all outdoors, by the way. And it's like in this parking garage. And I was so like, I cannot tell you how much time I put into this. And like 5 people showed up. And it was tragic. Like even I, like sitting there leading this like worship / sort of spiritual experience art show, was like, wow, I think we're missing something here. It just didn't work, but it sparked amazing conversations afterward.
That's a hard one, but also an easy one because I failed a lot with growth. A lot of us planned a conference that we went to for July conference in Houston, and if I'm passionate about something, I plan to the T. And sometimes that becomes a huge failure because sometimes when I'm overcommitted to something, it doesn't work out. So I was planning like a movie night for the youth, and I was like, oh, this is our last night, let's do movies and popcorn and all that kind of stuff. And they were just not in it. They weren't too excited about it. So it felt like a failure to me. And I think I just didn't see that all of us were actually exhausted. So they needed more sleep than anything. So I would say that was a failure because I was planning too much rather than being in the present and kind of paying attention to the behaviors that what was happening.